The city hums outside, a familiar symphony of sirens and distant traffic. But in here, there's only the rustle of paper and the frantic drumming of my own heart. My name is Drew Collins, and for the past 5 years I've been a detective with the DC Metro Police. I've seen things that would turn most people's stomachs, sifted through the darkest corners of human nature. I thought I was immune, that nothing could truly shock me anymore. I was wrong. It started with an anonymous tip. A plain manila envelope slid under my apartment door. No return address, no note, just a single cryptic case file inside. My hands trembled as I read the header. Case number DC 1029-5518. It looked official, formatted just like the thousands I'd handled before. But then my eyes fell to the victim's name, and the air left my lungs in a painful rush. Victim, Andrew Drew Collins. Me. My first thought was that it was a sick joke. A prank from a disgruntled colleague, or maybe a suspect I'd put away trying to get under my skin. But the details were too precise, too chilling. It listed my badge number, my home address, even my date of birth. Then I read the line that made my blood run cold. Time of death, pending revision. What kind of monster writes that? It felt less like a prank and more like a promise. I flipped through the pages, my mind racing. The report was sparse, almost like a template waiting to be filled. But the section for cause of death was anything but empty. The words seemed to burn on the page. Investigation related? It was a threat, clear as day. A warning that my work, my very identity as a detective, would be the end of me. The paper felt strangely warm in my hands. Not like something that had been sitting in a cold hallway. The ink, a deep, stark black, looked wet, almost glistening under the dim light of my desk lamp. It was as if it had been printed mere seconds ago, right here in my apartment. A wave of paranoia washed over me. Was someone watching me right now? I scanned the windows, the shadows in the corners of the room. Nothing. My gaze returned to the file, searching for any clue, any mistake that would expose this as a fraud. That's when I saw it, tucked away in the footer of the document, a detail so small yet so terrifying, a digital timestamp. File created 6 minutes ago. 6 minutes. That was just before I'd walked through my front door. My heart hammered against my ribs. This wasn't just a file. It was a live document. Someone was actively creating this narrative, my narrative, in real time. Who had this kind of access? This level of information? It wasn't just a prankster anymore. This was someone with power, someone inside the system, or someone who had compromised it so completely that they could create and modify official police records at will. I thought about my partners, my captain, anyone I might have crossed. The list was long, but no one fit this profile. This was something else, something more sinister. I felt like a pawn in a game I didn't even know I was playing, the rules changing with every tick of the clock. My training kicked in, a cold wave of adrenaline sharpening my senses. I had to get out. Staying here was a death sentence, a waiting game I was destined to lose. I grabbed my go bag from the closet cache, a burner phone, a change of clothes. Standard procedure for an officer in trouble, but this was anything but standard. As I turned to leave, my laptop, which had been closed on the coffee table, pinged. I never left it on. Hesitantly, I walked over and lifted the screen. An email was open. The sender was anonymous. The subject line read, Case file update, DC 1029 to 5518. My case file. My hand shook as I used the trackpad to scroll down. The body of the email was a single horrifying sentence. Subject has been alerted. Now initiating flight protocol. Status updated to fugitive. Below it, a new page from my file was attached. It was a Bolo Alert B on the lookout. It had my face, my name, Andrew Collins, wanted for questioning in a homicide investigation. My own homicide. They weren't just predicting my death. They were framing me for it. They were turning my entire world, my own department, against me. I slammed the laptop shut and didn't look back. I ran. I took the fire escape, dropping 3 stories into the alley below. The city that was once my territory was now a hunting ground, and I was the prey. For 2 days I lived in the shadows, moving between homeless shelters and all-night diners, my face hidden under a hoodie. I used the burner phone to try and contact the one person I thought I could trust, my old partner, Maria. The call went straight to voicemail. I tried again. Voicemail. A cold dread settled in my stomach. Were they already watching her? Had they gotten to her? On the 3rd day, I was huddled in a forgotten corner of the public library, trying to use their system to find a ghost of a lead, anything that could tell me who was behind this. I logged into a public terminal, using a proxy to mask my location. As the desktop loaded, a single PDF file was already there, waiting for me. Its name was a string of numbers I knew all too well. DC 1029 to 5518. My breath hitched. How? How could they know I was here? It was impossible. I hadn't used any of my own accounts. I was a ghost. With a sense of dread, I clicked it open. The file had been updated. New photos had been added, grainy CTV images of me on the fire escape, me buying a coffee at a 24-hour diner, me walking into this very library just minutes ago. Below the photos, a new line of text had been added to the report, a chilling personal note from my tormentor. Subject is proving resourceful, but he can't run from what's already written. The cursor on the screen blinked, pulsing like a heartbeat. Right at the end of that sentence, waiting. They weren't just following me. The files themselves, this digital ghost, it was haunting me, predicting my every move. I was on the run, but no matter how fast I went or where I hid, the file, my own obituary, was always one step ahead, waiting for me. And it was still pending revision.